The gold standard once shaped the foundation of global finance. Countries backed their currencies with gold to build trust. Every printed note represented a fixed amount of gold. People believed their money held true physical value. But the system secretly carried dangerous weaknesses. Growing economies needed more money than gold reserves allowed. Nations struggled to expand their financial systems. The world demanded flexibility, not rigid metal limits. World War I exposed the first cracks brutally. Countries printed money beyond their gold reserves. Massive war expenses pushed economies into chaos. Inflation rose and trust declined across Europe. Many nations suspended the gold standard temporarily. Temporary suspension soon became a repeating habit. By the 1920s, countries returned to partial gold backing, but the foundation was already unstable and fragile. Then the Great Depression hit like an earthquake. The 1929 crash froze global economies overnight. Banks collapsed and unemployment skyrocketed. Countries on gold couldn't print money freely. They were trapped in a rigid monetary cage. People lost faith in governments and banks. Nations devalued currencies to survive the crisis. This triggered a dangerous international currency war. Trade collapsed as countries competed desperately. Gold reserves could no longer support the system. The gold standard began failing globally. Britain abandoned gold in 1931 suddenly. This shocked the entire financial world. Canada and Australia quickly followed Britain's move. The United States resisted abandoning gold initially. President Roosevelt saw the limitations clearly. In 1933, the U.S. stopped gold convertibility. Citizens could no longer trade dollars for gold. This decision changed global finance forever. The government regained control over monetary policy. They fought deflation with aggressive interventions. New Deal programs needed financial flexibility. The U.S. increased the official price of gold. This devalued the dollar compared to gold. The change stabilized America, but shook investors. Slowly, the world shifted away from gold dependence. Flexibility proved more valuable than metal reserves. World War II accelerated this transformation. Countries printed huge sums to fund warfare. After the war, global finance was rebuilt. The IMF introduced new exchange rate systems. Bretton Woods linked currencies to the US dollar. The dollar itself was still tied to gold. Other currencies depended on the dollar's strength. For a time, this system seemed stable. But by the 1960s, problems grew rapidly. More dollars existed than US gold reserves. Foreign nations demanded gold in exchange for dollars. This threatened America's remaining gold supply. In 1971, President Nixon took a bold step. He ended gold convertibility of the dollar. Bretton Woods collapsed with this one announcement. The world entered the age of fiat money. Now currency value relied on government trust. Gold lost its status as the global anchor. Economists argued about the consequences endlessly. Supporters said gold kept governments disciplined. Critics argued it crippled economic flexibility. The end of gold did not destroy economies. It allowed governments to fight recessions aggressively. Inflation became a controllable economic tool. Monetary policy evolved into modern central banking. Central banks gained more powerful instruments. They could adjust interest rates freely. They could inject liquidity during crises. The gold standard never allowed such tools. Rigid systems collapsed under global pressure. Modern globalization demanded flexibility and speed. Trade imbalances were impossible to fix under gold. Floating exchange rates solved this limitation. Currencies could now reflect real economic strength. Developing nations gained new financial independence. They were no longer chained to gold reserves. Investment decisions became far more dynamic. Large projects could be funded through debt. Governments could borrow to build infrastructure. Private investment expanded rapidly with flexibility. Global financial markets became far more complex. Derivatives and digital systems transformed finance. Gold lost central dominance but retained symbolism. Investors still treat it as a safe asset. Its historical importance remains powerful today. Experts debate whether ending gold was necessary. Some believe it was a global conspiracy. Others argue it was simple economic survival. Whatever the truth, the world changed forever. Economies grew faster without gold restrictions. Inflation targeting became a standard strategy. Modern finance embraced flexibility fully. Digital currencies reflect this new philosophy. Gold-backed digital coins exist but remain niche. Central banks now rely on policy tools, not metal. Currency functions through trust and social agreement. Markets adapt constantly to shifting conditions. The gold standard's discipline is gone but respected. Its lessons warn against rigid economic systems. Flexibility ensures survival in global crises. The gold standard is history, but influential history. It shaped centuries of economic thinking deeply. Leaving gold opened the door to modern finance. Without abandoning gold, global growth was impossible. The world learned money is more than metal. It is trust, policy, strategy, and adaptability.